Hi. Hello. This is the right time for you and I to engage in this hectic conversation concerning good governance. Okay, I am from Kenya. It's around 6:30 p.m. and there's a point, or it is very important for you and I to engage in dialogue, because this is where we build up our lifestyle. Because we all know that time humanity stops talking, that is the time they start drowning in calamities. Through dialogue, we reconstruct our stability, be it individually or family way or society or even worldwide, by communicating. Through communicating, we educate each other. Okay? I would invite anyone out there that to engage in this topic and try to visualize on how we are to make our lifestyle to be more better. Because the world is culminating into mystic and mysterious ways, and immediately we start to engage in conversation. That is where we build up our capacity. Yeah, I've just indicated that I come from Kenya, and this time around my country is not in good condition because of bad governance. We voted in leaders about 2 years ago, but we come to realize that these leaders are not ready to govern. They are after their own desires. They clamor what they love best. They're forgetting all about their citizens as we are here. The health, the agriculture, the education, even infrastructure is not in good condition. And this has culminated to a point of majority of my fellow citizens here in Kenya have clamored to engage in conversation through media. And we all know that as being in this era of digital, there's nothing that is hidden or has been revealed, and a lot is being spoken concerning bad governance, and we find ourselves being intimidated. There was a video I recorded concerning those who are keeping the leaders on check balance. They were being traced to a point of being abducted. Yeah, there was something that was moving on that can be classified as being intimidated, and that is how things are in my country, Kenya. So not all that has started well, and majority have lost hope. And we all know that if a country is in that state, there are things that emerges. Concerning my country, Kenya, of late I've noticed that clique of individuals have returned back to their tribal cocoon. There are those who have turned themselves to be warlords. This regrouping has turned out to be so hectic, and the equilibrium of it all is that the docket of peace has been affected so badly. But we still have that ray of hope, because you and I can't be in a position to give up, to throw away the towel in an easy way. Okay, we are where we are, but though a lot has gone south, but there is still chances of redeeming our country, because as we are here, and a civic education process is in place. We are educating each other about good governance, and we are very sure that sooner than later we'll be standing on our own feet. The leaders, the type of leaders we chose, we put our trust upon them, but it has become a mirage, because as I indicated in my past videos, the leaders are not ready to restructure the way of governance in my country. There are those who are they have been identified to be corruptible. There are those who have a tendency of taking a lot of cash, the coffers from our government. They cash them abroad. We all know that, all that. We all know how it all ends up, because if someone decides to pick an amount of cash and fix it somewhere without the knowledge of majority, the cash ends up to belong to that individual. It's a way of enriching themselves. In fact, they are collecting resources that will be of benefit, not to them alone, but to their upcoming generation. I don't know what's wrong with African leaders, because such issues are unheard of in abroad. From abroad, you can't hear such, but in African countries, anything seems to be possible. But one thing I know is that we won't allow these same leaders to cut short our longevity, because we all know that for you to survive in a peaceful way, you have first to have meals, you have to have medication, and above all, you have to be in a country that has stability. But if all those components have been erased, we are at war. There are wars that are classified to be economical or political or even social wars. So this is our right time to compose ourselves as Kenyans, to select the avenue to follow. I don't think the avenue of joining your tribal cocoon can work and has ever worked upon anyone. No, that's an oasis. It's a mirage. All what we have to is to compose ourselves, continue with that initiative that I've just mentioned, the initiative of civic education, educating each other on good governance, and through that we are not drowning. We will keep afloat. And you believe in me, sooner than later we will be next to those superpowers countries, because that is how they behave. You know, the character of an individual, even a society, identifies who that person is or who those people are. Your characters, they are the lifeline to individual or even society. So we have to change on how things are being done. Of late, I've identified that the politicians have started regrouping themselves, and they are using the same lies they used when we voted them in, and that is why we have a hectic. It's a hectic trial. It's a temptation, because you know, a wealthy person has everything. A wealthy person, a billionaire, take it all, and This is how it happened in many countries in Africa. They succeeded in causing multitude to be underprivileged, to be vulnerable. Yeah. When they accomplish their mission, they all know that they can manage everything, because a person with money can manage everything, but a vulnerable person, you always find yourself begging from that wealthy person. So this time around, we've known where the rain started to beat us, and mind you, we are restructuring our country, Kenya. We have to do it because we are very precious, we are very special. Mind you, we are the role models of the upcoming generation that is coming after us. They have to copy from us. So we are encouraging ourselves, we are empowering ourselves. We don't want to let down the generation that has made us to be their model. Okay, we are coming from many other generations. We had the boomers, we had the silent, we had the generation X. They played their part accordingly. Many of them were unalived. They were fixed in dimensions that they couldn't defend themselves, and this became a detrimental to their welfare. Many of them lost hope. But this time around, because majority are elites, we know on where to click and on where to step on our feet. And you believe in me, my country Kenya, my motherland Kenya will be on her own feet, because this time around we've kept jokes aside. We are calling a spade, not a big spoon. We are facing them. We are facing the politicians, and we are spewing the truth, the bitter truth towards them. That's why I, for one, has realized that there's a point. We've put a wedge between the citizens and the politicians, because all what they had planned to us, it can never be accomplished, because they didn't know that we are more enlightened on matters of politics, social, or even economic. It somehow, I've identified that we are somehow at war with our own leaders. That is how things are. And it's so hectic. The equilibrium of it all is that they have to surrender. They have to, because this time around we have identified people with integrity, people who can be trusted, people who are ready to serve as leaders, not as politicians. In fact, we have realized that politicians can never be leaders. They are there to siphon each and everything, leaving us with empty-handed. And we won't allow this. You believe in me. We won't allow this to happen, because my country belongs to each and every one of us, and we have to walk by the rule of law. All I know is that Constitution is the heartbeat of a country, be it a country in abroad or even in African contexts. That's the Constitution is the heartbeat. But we've realized that the politicians have no respect for the Constitution. They just engage in whatever they want, so long as they are the benefactors. And this is so painful. It's so antagonizing. And we won't go to a point of allowing this to happen, because humanity has a tendency of replenishing. We want to be replenished. We want to live a life worth living. We don't want to be someone to throw modern slavery onto us, because when one reaches to a situation where health, education, or even agriculture and the infrastructures have just been shelved, and all what follows is that the politician they are on the campaigning spray. And mind you, In my country, Kenya, they're supposed to be in office for 5 precious years. As we are here, we selected them in the year 2022. This is their second year. And mind you, they are not ready to engage in any development issue. They prefer campaigning. They prefer engaging in corruptible deals in order for them to enrich them more. But these will not be allowed even by the unborn ones. Take it from me. And it's so coded.